AFL Today's round 23 wrappers here. What do we cover, lads?
Flag mantle made us all believe, and a crucial loss against the Lions leaves their season in the balance.
The team that does make us believe is Flag Crom. They've secured the home qualifying final, and there's going to be plenty of beers on the hill.
Absolutely. Check out AFL Today right now. Round 23 is done and dusted, and welcome back to the AFL Today Show, brought to you by Stockhead. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. They've had a big weekend. Lots of tips right, lots of tips wrong. Leo Mullaly, Marcus Bazzano, how are we?
Lots of tips wrong, lots of tips right.
There we go.
Had a good week.
Yeah.
No, very good. They're up and about. Make sure you subscribe to the AFL Today Show on YouTube. Nearing that 10K marker. Marcus wants $1 million, but I'm aiming for 10K so far. But one day, $1 million.
He wants $1 million.
Set your hopes high.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
$1 million subs.
I don't mind that. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. That's AFL Today AU, but on Facebook, that's Aussie Rules Today. Make sure you subscribe. We just want those more subscribers, and yeah, keep clicking the like button there. All right, around 23 results. Only 2 of our teams won this week, Leo, so we're very excited about that.
I know, mate.
Uncalled for.
That's what we do. North and Hawks every week, mate.
My team does very rarely win. So there we go. Friday night at Marvel Stadium, Essendon, St Kilda. Essendon, 11 goals, 9, 75. Just lost to the Saints, 11 goals, 11, 79. What a close one again for the Saints, Leo.
Close one. And look, I actually want to start on the losers here. I thought this young Essendon side, this brash Essendon side, showed a bit of fight, showed a bit of pressure. I think in the first quarter, they doubled St Kilda's tackling count. So they were up for the fight. And overall, it was a high tackle game. I think both teams got over 65 tackles. And I really want to give some praise to a bit of the Essendon young guys. Lual's soccer goal. He gave a bit of a taste of the Premier League. It was starting a bit later that night. Just nice little soccer goal, opportunistic. Very nice.
Very nice.
The Onion. The Onion had some moments. Not moments that would make you cry like an onion would, but some moments of agility and burst that I think there's a little bit of something there. A bit of raw talent.
That's what we want to see for the end of the season with these sort of players.
He's a raw onion.
A raw onion.
And Liam McAllion with another 3. So he's now got 11 in 5 AFL games. He dominates VFL, comes to the AFL, gets multiple goals every week. He looks a serious player. I like him.
Yeah, very nice. Is it a bit of a good surprise that Essendon have had to play some of these guys and they go, oh, he's good because he might not have played that much throughout the year?
Yeah, it's obviously a crap situation to
Yeah,
have
of
all
course.
these injuries, but if you're looking at it in a positive way, you go, we're finding out about these guys now, so we know in 2-3 years' time when we want to be contending, who's in our best 22.
Perfect.
Same thing happened when the Essendon drug saga with all the band players.
Exactly.
McDonald, Tip and Woody, the likes of McDonald, Tip and Woody, Fantasia, probably wouldn't have gotten a game that season.
True.
And they turned out to be half decent players for us.
Yep.
And then I want to go to the experienced guys. McGrath with 35 touches, Redmond with 36. I thought were particularly strong through the middle and half back. I'm often critical of Andy McGrath being pick one. Giggity. But Marcus, I want to ask you, was this his best game for the Bombers?
I think it was. And to go a while back, I think he's had a couple of good games, one against Sydney under the roof, which was quite a few years ago, and even his debut was good as a lockdown defender against Hawthorn in that first game. But this is by far and away his best game for the club, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. And now we'll switch over to the Saints. So they do get their 4th win in a row. Windhager and Nass were all class, I thought. Nass's centre clearance goal was spectacular. And I really do like the look of Garcia there. He brings really good pressure. He has 12 tackles, which was a game high. And he always just seems to be on the back of someone ready to tackle. Now, I want to be a bit harsh on the Saints, though. I think everyone knows this. They lack that offensive firepower throughout the season. They have won 4 in a row, but they've played Melbourne, where they came from behind, North, Richmond, and the Bombers. So 3 bottom 4 sides there, and have won that by a combined total of 21 points.
That's ugly.
It is ugly.
Come on. They won, I guess, but it's a
win's a win.
A win's a win, but it feels like when they're playing these sides, they don't have that attack to put teams away and blow them out the park. But when they play the best sides, which we saw the month before these wins, they get close because their defense keeps them in it. So they're all almost in a weird in-between, which they have been for years now, where they just need to really go this offseason and really look at some attacking players to put in that front half of the ground. Forget De Koning. They need to look at why aren't they trying to get Oscar Allen? I know he's going to Brisbane. He's going to Brisbane, but you know what I mean? That type of player.
But they've had Max King out for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. They need, and even if he is there, they need more. I reckon. Way more.
That's line ball, mate.
Yeah.
Line ball. I love it.
Yuck.
And look, this game, just to quickly end on. It had its mini momentum swings. It was the start of the last quarter. The Bombers got the lead, and then the Saints brought it back and managed to hold on. And it all came down to a Xavier Dersma just missing his kick to Redmond in the last 10 seconds, which would have been very kickable by Redmond standards. It would have been a goal after the siren from about, 50, 55?
Well, he took the shot off two steps in the end.
And cleared it by like 10
I know,
meters.
he kicked it like 60 meters.
So heartbreak for the Bombers, but it was good effort. Can they beat Carlton next week?
Can they beat Carlton?
Let's hope so.
That'll be a bit of a fun way to. I was going to say end the season, but not for the Bombers. They've still got two.
two games.
Some of the Bombers players are like, we still got 2 games, and everyone else has got 1. But the Saints, they did get the job done. 4 wins in a row, so fair play to them. They know how to win at the very least. Friday night at Optus Stadium is the next one. Fremantle taking on Brisbane. Fremantle only scored 5 goals, 14-44. Brisbane 15 goals, 11-101. Absolutely smashed them, Marcus.
They sure did in the end, and they've done it, boys. Despite having the hardest fixture to end the season, Brisbane have secured finals football. Was a big 57-point win, and their away record now this season is formidable. It's actually quite scary, 9-1-1. So if they do make it to the big dance, which you never know, that's good reading to have if they do play at the MCG.
It'll give them a lot of confidence.
And not
100%.
everyone can get points off Brisbane. North. Yeah, there we go.
And
It
they
has to make it about North. They won
that
one
was
game of football.
against
One game of football.
and they've done it again, Leo, haven't they? After a bad loss the week before, they've bounced back and got the win.
They've done it again.
Those
Nah.
pesky Lions.
This is what they do. They've done it the whole year. 75% winners as underdogs. That's the stat,
Correct.
right?
Exactly right, mate.
So they lose to the Swans last week.
It'll be even better now this week.
Come here, be
we're the
Freo.
favourites. Yeah.
Smash them. We called it. Was it you that tipped him? No, you tipped him, didn't you?
I tipped him. Thank you very much.
But I'm not going to go too much into tipping because I'll be having.
yeah, you got a hard tip and then you missed the other one.
I did, but if we go through it, they lose to the D's and beat the Hawks away, lose to the Giants at home, beat the Cats away, lose to the Suns, get belted by them, and beat the Pies away. It's phenomenal what they've done this season.
Should they purposely go into the finals, lose their first final, and then get a roll on after
Well, they're
that?
going to have an away qualifying final.
Oh, there we go.
Well, most likely.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to mention. Do you boys think that they got to win against the Hawthorn, of course, which is no easy game.
The
Hawthorn.
The Hawks.
It's like when they say the Arsenal.
yeah,
The Gooners.
Can they finish? Can they finish in the top 4 with a win against the Hawks?
I think they're going to beat us.
I have them in. At penciled in 3rd.
Yeah, I think 3rd as well. I think they'll be playing Geelong at the G in that first round.
You know what? I fancy the Lions. If that's the
That's
case.
going to be a great
Oh, yeah,
final.
they've got a good track
That
record.
is a prelim final rematch from last year. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Zach Bailey was terrific. My man, Zach Bailey. I know
you
I give him
hate
a lot of
that
stick. He's had quite a few games this season. 28 disposals, 2 goals, 10 scorer involvements. But the win, it did come at a little bit of a cost though, with more midfield depth being injured. Obviously, you got Lockie Neal who was out for the regular home and away season.
Yep.
And now Jared Berry, dislocated shoulder.
Bit of depth
so,
there. It's a bit of a worry.
So, against Hawthorn, who probably don't have as much midfield depth as the other sides inside the 8.
definitely
it
not.
might not be too bad come next week, but hopefully he doesn't miss out on the finals. So you look at the other end of the stick, Fremantle. It was a bad loss, especially at home. They have to beat the Dogs now. At
that's
Marvel.
tough.
Come down to this.
In the final, you'd think it's going to be the winner of that makes finals and the loser misses out. So that's going to be a game you don't want to miss out.
That'd be a great
So
game, yeah.
Definitely check out our midweek preview next
that one,
week
yeah.
because that'll be a lot of fun. And they didn't bring the pressure, Fremantle. They were great in previous weeks, particularly at Optus Stadium, bringing the heat, bringing the pressure. They conceded 159 marks to Brisbane. 147 of those were uncontested.
That's embarrassing. That's like, here you go. You have another. They put him on a red carpet for him. What is that?
They were panicking as well, so they were kicking it out. The Lions were really good back there. Their structure was really good. So every time they came back out, it was just going straight back in. But then on the attacking front, when they did have those chances, Fremantle, obviously they kicked 5 goals, 14, so they weren't accurate. They lacked a lot of finesse, a lot of polish, and they gave away. You could tell the team was getting a little bit frustrated when things weren't coming off. They were missing set shots. I think they kicked 8 points in a row at one stage, and they were giving away free kicks off the ball, which turned into a Logan Morris goal in particular. Was one that I can call out. Was 100 metres off the ball.
Yeah.
And it was their worst first quarter of the year, and the 3rd time this season that they've had a goalless quarter. So not pretty reading for Fremantle, but they will hopefully try and bounce back with a win here. So they got to have a little bit of a kick up the arse and try and get the win against the Dogs. But one thing I do wanted to point out for Fremantle, it was good scenes, wasn't it? We
Great
obviously talked
scenes,
about
yeah.
Fife's retirement throughout the week, where he ranks as a docker. He is the best docker of all time. Pav's given him he's the only other rival for that claim. But
Yep.
it was good to see both sides give him a guard of honour. He had his family
course,
there.
yeah.
So
It could be his last game at Optus Stadium.
It could
just
be.
putting it out there.
Could be.
Which is
Great
sad
game.
for him, yeah.
Came on as a sub as well, so obviously came on with an ovation. So good game for a champion.
No, absolutely. Good way to finish that one. The Lions, they absolutely smoked them. I don't think a lot of people thought they could smoke them, but great win by them, and they're flying for the finals. All right, Saturday at People's First Stadium. Did you hear it, lads? There was a big sound. Gold Coast, 11 goals, 10, 76. GWS, 17 goals, 9, 111. The Giants, as Marcus talked them up, which we'll touch on in a second, they were missing so many stars, and they still dominated this one. No Hogan, Buckley, Stringer, Daniels, and Kelly, who I'd say are all in their top half of the best players in their team, probably in their 10 or 12 best players, which is incredible effort. But the young forwards stepped up. Now, a lot of these players that I'm going to mention, people go, who? What?
I'm sure you went who? When
No,
you
and I've always been a big fan of Harry Ralston. I've always said that.
Yeah.
He only had 1 goal in his 15 games of his career before the weekend, and then he's gone out and kicked 4. So that's an absolutely awesome.
Tell me
effort.
every detail about Harry's life.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
so much
I don't want to
about
bore the
I think he
fans
was a
with that.
Sydney Swans Academy player.
How did you even know? That's
don't know.
impressive.
It's
There we
wisdom.
go. But yeah, he kicked 4 goals, obviously career high there, and then you got Grew. Not only did he steal the moon, lads, he's still in the Suns finals hopes possibly. Oh, the Grew. He was absolutely awesome.
Get out.
The Minions were pumped. Grew kicked 3 goals. He looks like a real talent. Building confidence. I think every week Derm is a big fan. I know Leo loves his commentary.
I love him, yeah.
But every week he's sort of building, and he's been a great replacement, but in
Depth.
For Jesse Hogan obviously being
Absolutely.
out. So that was really good by Grew. I just love that his name's Grzeski. That's just a lovely
Come on,
name.
give us some minion cheer, Leo.
Yeah.
I don't even know how do they do it.
Either do I.
Well, I'm not going to do it now.
Banana.
Oh my God.
It's okay.
I love how we just do anything.
And just like the Minions eat bananas, Grew was kicking snags.
Absolutely. That doesn't make any sense.
Same thing.
He was kicking bananas. There
Same
we go.
shape.
What the hell are you guys talking about over there, lads? I was really worried about the Giants' midfield depth during the week. You had Callahan and Green both combining. Sorry, not combining. They both had 29 disposals and 8 clearances each. So you don't have to worry about the midfield depth if they're absolutely dominating, and it works a treat. You had O'Halloran. Again, he looks pretty strong. He locked down Matty Rao at times in the stoppages and he still had a lot of touches, Matty Rao, but not as big of an impact, same as Anderson. I think he had 32 disposals, but wasn't that as influential. Bedford was great two-way running. Sam Taylor had 8 intercepts from his 12 disposals. That's exactly what you need from him. Lads, is this Giants team a genuine premiership contender?
Yes.
He's already in.
Yes.
You've
They are
topped
the
him
best
up.
team the AFL's ever seen. They'll feature in the grand final, and I'll be wearing an orange morph suit in the grand final
morph?
pre-match show.
I actually love that. Leo?
They will not be making the grand final.
They won't
Top of the world.
I
They could
agree
make a
with you.
prelim, definitely.
But they've done that a lot, the prelims, haven't they?
That's why I'm not on them, because they just get to that level and they don't.
You've been doubting them. You've been doubting them for the last 3 months. Are you doubting them now?
You know what? It's not even that I'm doubting them. Now I'm just doubting you. And that's what I
You're
love
doing it out
to
of
do.
spite.
Yeah,
We love
you know what I am. I'm sick
personal
of you.
vendettas on this show, of course. For the Suns, Witsy did all he could. He absolutely dominated Briggsy. Briggsy had half the amount of hit-outs as Witsy, so he's been really good. And
Whoa, we're talking about Witsy.
Dimmer will be very happy that we're talking up
Watch the
Witsy.
show, Dimmer.
Ainsworth for
Get
the
off
Suns
Twitter.
was solid, 2 goals. But they still need a win to make finals, lads. The Suns, surely they're not doing
They
it again.
couldn't do it, could they?
Every year something happens with the Suns and they don't make finals. The Suns, they're a bit shaky. They've never been in this position before.
They'll be right.
They need to beat Port Adelaide or Essendon. Surely they can't stuff it up from here, lads.
I don't get nervous, but I start getting a little bit worried.
A little bit worried.
They're nervous. We're calm.
Well, let's say we give a doomsday scenario, Port come out for Ken and Boak and just win somehow, and then they go to Essendon needing to win. Oh, Essendon go up there and they need to win the game.
might be a
The
bit of
Baby
pressure.
Bombers, and do the Baby Bombers just go, we're gonna snag a win out of nowhere?
That would be crazy.
Probably not.
The likes of Lewin, the Wall, Jaden Ewan, all the boys.
I don't know about that.
Mate, Nguyen,
Liam McAllion, the Onion.
they're going to shut down Bailey Humphrey and all of them up there.
Don't know about that.
So even the masterclass for a Wednesday night, prime time.
Yeah, prime time.
COVID
Wednesday night.
days.
There we go. But genuinely, they should make it correct.
They will make
Yes.
finals.
They will
They should
make
win
finals.
both games.
They should win
They
both
blew
games.
a top 2 spot with that loss.
Absolutely.
They absolutely blew it.
Absolutely. But not a good loss by them at all. But the Giants, they're absolutely fine, as Marcus called. Saturday, Marvel Stadium is the next one. Carlton, 18 goals, 10, 118. Port Adelaide, 9 goals, 10, 64. They smoked him, Leo.
They smoked him. This game did not go how I thought it would. I was very big on Port Adelaide, and I looked like an absolute fool.
So was I.
One person was right
mug.
on this couch.
Good job, boy.
Good boy.
Good boy is what I probably meant to say. Blues clearance game. They just blitzed Port Adelaide 19-7. Centre clearances. Walsh came back and he just really vibed with the guys. He vibed with Hewitt. He vibed with Cripps. There's a good little trio.
What music are they vibing to? Pre-game together?
I reckon it'd be something boring, those three. Like, I don't know. It's a story for another podcast. The trio combined for 85 disposals and 21 clearances. And when the Blues kind of dominate in that midfield battle, it makes the forwards' life a lot easier. So Harry McKay has an absolute day out. 7 goals, 15 score involvements, 21 disposals. How many hairs on his head, stats guy?
It's same amount of goals.
Same amount of goals.
7.
It's like Port didn't do their homework on Carlton's strength, which is the clearance and the contested stuff that Carlton really, if you stop that, they don't really have a plan B. And just quickly go a little bit off topic. Wines gets 3 weeks for a hip and shoulder and Cooper Lord. Lord gets subbed out. What are our thoughts, boys? 3 weeks.
Game's gone.
Game's gone.
The bump's gone, apparently. It's a part of the game.
That was woke.
I think because it's part of like a shepherd, you should still be allowed to bump. And if you obviously got subbed out, but it wasn't high. I think
didn't look high, but maybe we didn't see enough.
In terms of the ruling, I get possibly why, but the ruling around suspensions is horrible.
If you're going to suspend him 1 week max.
Yeah,
I think give him a fine. And to sort of get into a bit of a deeper discussion, we were all really critical on Carlton in the previous show. We all thought Port could rebound quicker going into next year. Do we still think that? And what do we think each side needs to improve going into next season?
Oof, I think there's a lot of areas for improvement for both sides. Obviously, Port Adelaide are going to be a different Port Adelaide than we've sort of come to expect with Ken Hinkley departing. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out. And obviously, they have had a little bit of a hard run with injuries towards the second half of the season, but they still should be outperforming what they are. But in saying that, I do think if they can keep Butters on the list, then they will have the bigger upside possibly next season compared to Carlton, who were both great last year as well.
Yep, both for final sides.
Yeah. No, I agree with Marcus on that one. I just think they have the depth, but it's annoying that they lost. I think they've checked out, honestly. Ken's definitely checked out. The team feels like they've checked out a little bit. Half the players are just walking around. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I'd be frustrated as a Power fan.
Was that the worst performance from Port Adelaide this season?
Gosh, Showdown maybe.
Yeah, Showdown was bad. They've had a few bad ones, yeah.
They just look unspirited, don't they?
Yeah, that's great word. Yeah, very good call. But Carlton, they get the win, so Flaggers 2026, Leo.
Get around it. Olivia in the office when she comes back from holiday, she's going to be up and about.
There we
Blues
go.
are back, baby.
The Blues are back. I don't know about that one. Saturday at the MCG, Leo's more pumped for this one. Hawthorn, 13 goals, 14-92. Smash Melbourne, 8 goals, 8-56. And Marcus, the old boys have still got it.
They sure do. Where else do we start without the pairing of Bruce and Gunston?
He's not going to be able to talk.
There we go.
That's my pump out there.
That's the 3-minute segment for this game done. That's gone. Well, Luke Bruce, obviously, his retirement announcement during the week, and the video was fantastic. It had people tearing up, including you, Leo, and Alessi, shedding a tear. But his goal was absolutely the loudest roar of the day. It was absolutely fantastic, and he came off the bench as the sub, and that was I was at the game. We were at the game. And it was just a great scene. No one hates that man, Luke Bruce.
No, I'm actually crying. I got a tear.
How do you do that?
But did Gunston take the spotlight? Because that man, honestly, he can play on for years and years to come. He kicked 7 goals, 4. He could have had an absolute bag.
He did have an absolute bag.
He did have an absolute bag. He could have had more.
Oh.
Where is he now in the Coleman League?
He's kicked 60 goals. I think he'd be third if Norton kicked a bag. I'm not sure.
Possibly.
He's second or third.
Top 3. He's played fair, and it's his best ever goal tally. You mentioned he's kicked 60-odd. It's his best ever goal tally in a season, and he's 33.
He's almost 34. Sign him up for 10 more years, Leo.
Yep.
Are you older than him?
No, definitely not.
So
He went to
He
Brisbane.
can
kick more goals than me, though.
He went to Brisbane chasing success, thinking he was in the twilight of his career, and he's come back to the Hawks, and he's just shown them that he's still got it. He's still got it. But the man who was playing on him,
Oh, no.
Gunston ran rings around the man in his 250th game.
Stephen May. time to learn Chinese, buddy.
I didn't know they had a league out there.
Oh, God, we don't want to be overly harsh of players, but in this case we do because he was terrible. He was genuinely really bad. When you got Jack Gunston beating you for pace, you know you're in trouble because that's not his strength. He was dropping marks. He wasn't in the right position. He was turning the ball over. Really poor performance.
He was
from
always a metre or two behind as well. And shame to him, like when he did get good shout on the ball, Stephen May, and put Gunston in bad positions, Gunston's good enough to kick him.
Yep.
Maybe
from the
Stephen
boundaries,
May's missing his 3-puck super pass. Remember, he
do
used
remember
to
that.
have the old 3-puck super pass when he
up
played at the
in the-
Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah.
Maybe if he has that back, he can play better.
Yeah, you've unlocked something there, mate.
Yeah, I think I have.
Although in saying that, it wasn't all sunshine for Hawthorn because in the second and third quarter, I thought was actually a little bit concerning.
Yeah,
especially
I
viewing
agree.
at the game. I thought there was, they just couldn't really, we used that word polish before, but they just turned the ball over a lot. It was just lucky that Melbourne were doing the same and they couldn't capitalise on it. And they went into half time with just 15 points to their name, which is really concerning. And that was off the back of a lack of pressure to start the game and just generally just sticking your tackles. Hawthorn, they broke a lot of tackles and they turned the ball over in the middle of the ground, which you just cannot do, especially against a side like Hawthorn, who use their hands really well and they got a lot of pace throughout their midfield. So, and even the drop marks from the likes of Bailey Fritsch, I think in particular, who had a bit of a stinker. He was dropping chest marks and the talk just wasn't there.
Either. He was very poor.
No.
too,
He
Fritsch.
was. But you can tell how quick they wanted to play quick, Melbourne, the Demons. They wanted to play quick, but just ahead of the ball, they had nothing forward of the ball. So Hawthorn was set
tactics
up
were out the
perfectly in
window a bit,
defence, and the tactics were out. You want to move it quick, but a lot of pretty much everyone is behind the ball. So you got no one to kick to. A lot of the time they kick into an outnumber, which is just silly, and it wasn't a great outnumber either. But what made the game interesting was the war of words at halftime, because let's face it wasn't the best of games to watch, except for obviously the obvious moments with Bruce and Gunston. But I know they're shouting out words, but throw some punches, boys. Make the game
I'm not
interesting.
condoning violence.
So if you get
punches, bring them back.
if you get 3 weeks for a bump, what, are you getting 5 years for a punch?
I don't care. It's worth it. Bring back the biff.
Bring back the
might
bit.
get a week for just language.
Depends who you punch.
Why don't you run out on the field and start it?
There's a couple of punchable boys in both of those sides, so why not? Sicily, Stephen May, with 8 yard.
Yeah, Marcus, you should really stop.
Because you're going to win that fight, mate.
Yeah, don't know about that one. Anyway, the Hawks get a huge win. The old guys get it done, as Marcus mentioned. Lads, do you know what the ASX means?
Mate, of course. And in fact, I'll let Marcus explain.
Don't throw me under the bus, Leo. Be honest, I have no clue.
Oh, what a surprise. It's actually the Australian Securities Exchange.
I'll speak for Marcus on that one and say I'm pretty clueless with that stuff.
Well, lucky for you, Stockhead is a free website which gives you punting stock advice through the ASX.
Where can we check them out?
Check them out via stockhead.com.au. Let's get into the game of the round. We talked it up as the game of the round midweek and it absolutely delivered. Saturday night at the Adelaide Oval was Adelaide Collingwood. Adelaide 9 goals 5-59. Defeat the Pies 8 goals 8-56. It's happened again, lads. We talked up the stat. That makes it 6 straight meetings decided by 10 points or less. We all did the margin correctly around that mark, 10 points or less. So it's happened again. Another game between these two sides full of controversy as the Crows snap a 9-year, 10-game losing streak against the Pies.
They've bloody done it.
They finally done it. They finally
How
done
good?
it. Because they hate playing the Pies. The Pies always just get over the line, but they've just got over the line themselves by 3 points. The biggest ever crowd at the Adelaide Oval, over 54,000 were there. Very vocal, very vocal.
The hill would have been pumping.
That was absolutely pumping.
Over under for fights on the hill. What a record.
62.
10 and a half.
Yeah, per quarter. Per quarter. The Pies, they dominated so many stats. Collingwood fans would be absolutely filthy with this loss. So they were plus 14 in clearances, plus 22 in tackles, plus 26 tackles inside 50, and the big one that everyone's talking about, plus 34 inside 50s, 71-37, lads. And only had one more scoring shot than Adelaide. How the hell did they lose this one? 71-37 inside 50s. You can't be doing that.
Well, I'll tell you why, Leo.
How they lose this one? Worrell.
And Mark Keane.
Oh.
The two Australians.
The synergy in
The
that
synergy
one.
on that couch.
That's what you get this show, this chemistry off the ball.
You guys are so good.
Well, those two have better chemistry than what we have.
Absolutely. They were elite defense from Worrell and King, combined for 50 disposals and 25 intercepts. Video game numbers from those two.
Video game.
Yeah, absolutely. And only one forward for the Pies, Schultz, had more than 3 marks. We've talked about their struggling forward line.
Conditions didn't really suit though, did they?
Yeah, but like... early, it wasn't too bad. I don't know. I think that's not good enough from the Pies. One of the best battles of the night, though, was a great battle between Braden Maynard and Thriller. It was really, really fun. Thriller obviously kicked a lot of goals this year, but only ended with the one goal. Maynard was great. He got into his head a little bit. He called him awkward, I heard in an interview. And then...
As in Thriller did?
Yeah, no, Maynard was calling him awkward, and he said it was a bit weird.
It didn't look awkward pre-game. Just seen pre-game. Thriller just sit down, legs crossed. It was Alex on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Very nonch.
It was very nice. He had 18 disposals, Braden Maynard 7 marks, but Thriller got the last laugh in this one. A clutch mark and an awesome goal to finish off the game, making the crowd go bonkers. He had a similar game to Josh Tracy a few times this year where he doesn't have the impact on the scoreboard, but he was laying tackles. He had some really good hit-outs to advantage in the ruck. And I just thought he had a solid game for someone who only had 11 disposals and a goal. He still did his job. And then the clutch goal, which is what you want from the bearded one himself. But there was some controversy. I mentioned that before. Every time these two play, there's a lot of controversy. So multiple non-paid throws, when Adelaide were going towards goal, got a goal off a big throw.
One of them leading to basically the match-winning goal from
which is a bit sus, but the Dogs have been doing that for years, right, Leo?
No comment.
No comment. I was trying to fire up there. And Thriller's kick, he kicked the ball after it was over the boundary line, wasted a little bit of time so that the Crows could set up. I'm going to ask you specifically about the Thriller one because that's the one everyone's talking about. Is that a free kick?
Okay. So we've seen that the umpires sometimes pay this and they sometimes don't. There was one today where I think it was Dane Rampy for Sydney did a very similar thing. They didn't pay a free kick. So it's one of those ones where as a fan, you're sitting back going, we don't know the rule. What's going on here? Like, we don't know the rule. We don't know what it's actually.
They've paid it before.
They have, but tell us the rule and then stick to it. Don't say like, oh, we're going to pay this sometimes. We're not going to pay it other times. It's like when they hand the ball back to the umpire for a ball up. It's the same thing. Sometimes they pay that.
Time wasting.
I saw about 5 today that they didn't pay.
That's true.
So what's the ruling? And let's decide it and stick to it.
Good call. Good call. We're going to find out tomorrow, actually, the AFL, because they go through all the games and all that type of
that's
stuff.
exciting.
So we're very excited about that one. Yeah, stay tuned, obviously. Cumming and Peatling. JP, they call him. James Peatling. JP.
JP. What a nickname. Just the initials.
Why not? Why not, JP? They were great in the clutch moments. Attack at the footy, two-way running, and both got a goal each, and both were just stepped up because we called for Peatling especially to step up, and he really
great role
did.
Plays.
Very good role plays. The depth of the Crows was definitely on show. But Jack Crisp, he did it all for Collingwood. All he could. He had 23 disposals, 13 tackles and a goal. Nick Dacos got a solid goal at the end, but it wasn't enough as well. But again, lads, the Pies, they just can't kick a score. They had all the 71 inside 50s. And in their last 5 losses, they've lost 5 of the last 6 now. They've only averaged 61 points, which is... That's not going to be good for finals. So I'm very worried about them for finals. I wanted to see how they go this week. I do not think they're a threat for finals at the moment. What do you guys think?
So let's say they make the top 4. They beat Melbourne.
Yep.
And they potentially play Adelaide first final away from home.
Away from home, they'll be huge.
They'll get smacked, I reckon.
Well, they just went there and only lost by 3.
Exactly. That sucked the air out of them. I reckon they could get smacked the second time.
I don't know about that. I think they'll be right in that. And then it's whether or not they lose that, then that's the game they got to win and go.
Like it wasn't like they had a terrible performance against Adelaide
that's
either.
true.
Like,
that's true.
According to the statistics, they had a largely better game. It's just that forward line and
that's my point. Even if
is a little bit off. Missing Bobby possibly.
True. Even if you think they can win, I don't know if they can kick a big enough. I know that it was raining and it was 59 to 56, but can they kick a big enough score to keep up with Adelaide? I don't know. I don't know. So that's the worry for them.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to, I guess, their structure of ball movement for their scoring, and it's not firing at the moment. I know conditions didn't suit in this one, but they got to, against Melbourne, I reckon they got to score 120 plus and really be like, nah, look, we're all right with the scoring.
That would be
I'm actually more worried about the back line, if anything.
Back line, yeah. No, fair call. And then Adelaide fans let us know in the comments last week. They said they're not still sold on the premiership glory for the Crows. Are they now?
They got top 2.
They got top 2.
Final, right?
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah, so they'll be right up there. There we go.
Hill's going to go off.
Yes. Sunday Fun Day is the next one. Ninja Stadium. What a name for that stadium. North Melbourne, my beloved North Melbourne. You got the Sheezel top on here. 20 goals, 15, 135. Richmond, 13 goals, 9, 87. I'm very happy. Harry Sheezel, what a man he is. Sheezel's Cheezels.
You're not going to shout out who gave you that shirt?
Oh, you did give me that shirt.
Boys.
Very nice.
Both of us,
Thank you, boys.
Don't say we don't do anything nice for you.
First time he's worn it, though.
It is.
That is not true. I've worn
Harry Sheezel, you are a superstar.
A god.
He now holds the equal record for most disposals in a game with 54.
Actually, funnily enough, he's probably had more disposals in that game than his resting heart rate.
His resting heart rate's wild.
I think his resting heart rate's like 30 or something.
Yeah. Well,
He's
his cheap meal's a steak. I found out.
Yeah, he's a health nut.
He's crazy.
He's a real health. He's gonna be the first player to play to 40.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not a bad
mate,
shout.
He's a wizard of a different kind, a wizard of nutrition, if there ever is one.
What?
So 54 disposals, 2 goals, 7 marks, 5 tackles, 6 clearances. Now, I'm watching this game as a neutral, and I'm seeing Harry Sheezel in the midfield, and I'm going, this is the guy for North Melbourne that can take him out of this mess, take him on their back, and be the start of their improvement. Because him at half back or half forward just isn't cutting it. I don't know why it's taking this long for him to be in the midfield, but he's there now, and he's the dude. He's the leader. I reckon just chuck him to captaincy. What do you reckon, Stats Man?
Absolutely. He's a humble man. He leads. He was leading, I think, after 10 games in his career. He was pointing people around the ground. He's very vocal on the ground. He obviously leads by example by getting a lot of disposals, but he's also clean with the ball and doesn't do anything stupid. I think our current captain, Jai Simpkin, gets in a bit of trouble sometimes, punching people and things. I think he's a great role model. Everyone respects him. Give him the captaincy.
So Nas has the suburb of Moorabbin. Sheezel now has the suburb of North Melbourne.
Yeah, at least give him Arden Street. Just the Harry Sheezel.
Rename it to
Harry
Sheezel
Sheezel
Street.
Memorial.
Memorial? No.
Memorial. No, that's a while away, but something like that.
Sheezel Street, we're going to call it. Sheezel Street.
I like that.
He was awesome. And look, in the game in general, North just smashed them, really. Like disposals, I think it was like 130 more, contested ball, inside 50s. It was just domination. This is what we wanted to see. This is what I called North out.
Leo, actually, can I reference that?
You can reference it,
You
mate.
did say on the midweek show that North, for a pass mark in this one, have to win by 5+ goals.
Absolutely.
And I thought, no chance. We just don't know how to belt teams. And we did. So there we go.
It's one of the first steps. You got to the sides around you as a rebuilding low side. You've got to beat the teams around you comfortably. And the pleasing thing about it for North, it's a team performance. You've had some wins, and maybe you have some passengers in those wins. I don't know if there were any passengers in this game. It was a real team
Caleb
performance.
Daniel, but that's okay.
Leave him out of it just because he's smaller than you. You gotta just leave him
Very
out
rare.
of it, mate. PC.
Yes.
5 goals.
Yep.
PC. He saw Nathan Broad as a bench press. Some of the one-on-one ball was right there for the ball. He's just gone, nah, I'm marking that. Jerry was a monster, 22 touches, 17 tackles. He was insane. And LDU. Now, I'm critical of LDU, and I'm happy to continue to be critical of him. But he was good in this game.
He was good, yeah.
He had 40 and a goal. Now, how do you have 40 and no one even talks about it because that bloke got 54? That's pretty stiff.
Imagine having the second most disposals, but you're 14 behind. That's crazy.
No, I mean, you get 40, but you're 14 behind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is nuts. But there's a second game that you want to shout out, Liam, as a North man.
Absolutely. He's the second coming of Drew Petrie, I'm going to call him. I don't even think that's the best reference. But Trent Barth, he looks really good. Cooper Trent Barth. He was playing in the Eastern Footy League earlier in the year. He was playing North VFL. We've picked him up in the mid-season draft. He's got 6 goals in his first 2 games, 3 and 3. He's taken marks. Like I said the other week, I'm very happy for him to go past Finbar Maley in the side, and I'm very excited to watch him play.
What I really liked as well, his marking's great, but there was a chase down tackle he went to do when he affected the kick, went out in the full. That's the kind of stuff the big men you love to see.
Absolutely.
Bring more of it. Now to Richmond, this was a very disappointing effort in a winnable game for them. But if we do want to cut them a little bit of slack, a lot of their younger guys / depth are sitting on the injury list.
That's true.
They lose Vossen in game. I know North lose Zerha, so it kind of cancels out a little bit. But Richmond actually had an older side to North Melbourne in this game, which they were kind of forced into because of those injuries.
Yeah.
So I just think ultimately North's pace and skill, which I don't think I've ever said in my life.
Is that right?
North's pace and skill, they made those experienced Richmond guys look slow and ineffective.
That's true.
So
That's true.
Especially in the
kudos
midfield.
North. Especially in the midfield, absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to go full North, Nuffy Modi. You know you're bad, lads, when Griffin Logue's kicking goals against you. Griffin Logue, I think he's kicked 11 goals in his career.
Poor Griff.
North as well. We've won the same amount of games in the last 6 weeks as the Pies.
Yes.
I just sneaked up in there after the Pies game because
Absolutely,
I might get
'cause
roasted otherwise.
Flag
Collingwood
roos.
are top 4.
Flag Roos 2029.
2029.
No, that's definitely not going to
It'll be
happen.
50.
There we go. Next one on Sunday was at the SCG, Sydney Geelong. Sydney, 10 goals, 8, 68. Geelong, 16 goals, 15, 111, Marcus.
Who would have thought Geelong could kick 111 points and Jessa not contribute at all?
That's crazy.
Oh, the ton watch.
I could tell. I know the ton watch. It's not looking good, is it? We might have
not
to
looking
wait
good, bruv.
until a future year for someone to reach that milestone, unfortunately.
Yep.
But I'll tell you why they got to that total was because it was the other boys. They were doing the job on the forward line. Shannon Neal in particular as the tall aerial threat, and you have the likes of Manor, Stengel, Myers all chipping in. And that's an awesome sign heading into finals. Like when you look,
Absolutely.
like Sydney, they're no slouches either. They're in great form. I think a couple of us tipped Sydney as well.
Yeah,
so
I tipped them.
It's a very workmanlike performance from Geelong, particularly when Jessa doesn't hit the scoreboard. But one man that I did want to point out and how well he played, he kicked the 3 goals, and it's Tyson Stengel.
Yes.
Because he's been underwhelming for me this season.
Absolutely.
I think he's been one of the most disappointing players for a team that's in the top 8 and fighting for a premiership.
Mm-hmm.
But he did silence, that was the best part of the game. He
It was
silenced
very
the bloke
good.
in the crowd. He was giving him plenty of lip.
A lot of lip.
So it was
Was it
40
Alex in the crowd? That's
45, 50 out. Honestly, it was, are we surprised? Maybe not, but Stengel, he's the man. You get it done.
Yep.
And I want to do a bit of a fun one for you.
I love fun
because
ones.
you love grind miners.
Yes.
You love grind miners. I'm big on Sean Manor here.
Ooh.
And at the moment, who would you rather have in your side? Manor leads Myers in all these following stats: goals, tackles, clearances, score involvements, the same amount of goal assists as Messi Myers.
Oh.
But Myers does have the more disposals and better disposal efficiency.
Leo, what do you reckon?
I think I'm leaning Myers purely because, and it's not really statistical base, but Myers has been in the system longer. This is
I
Manner's.
think Myers about 150 games, Manor 30.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Manner's second full season at the level. He's obviously been fantastic
He's been
since
awesome.
he's come in his role, but I just think I would trust Myers more in my team because he's done that role for a longer period of time.
Yeah, it's just like you don't pick the kid who's got the funny action just because. But Ryan Myers,
Oh, he
of course,
hits
he's
more
he's
targets.
elite. He
He
hits
is
more
elite.
targets.
I'm leaning towards Myers as well because in the finals, especially coming up, I think he has a bit more experience. But Manor has had the better year, and I'll put my hand up with that one because at the start of the year, I didn't think that would happen.
And we did introduce a new segment in the midweek show. Tag Your It. You followed it, Leo. How did it go?
I did follow it. I followed it close. Well, look, we were talking about Mullen on Errol, we were talking about Jordan on Basil Holmes, but the main bit of tagging that caught everyone's eye really was O'Connor on Heaney. And Heaney kept to 15 disposals. He had an early goal, I believe, but he was very frustrated. He gave away some silly frees. Now, look, one was there, and I think he'll cop a bit of MRO
Scrutiny from
it. But another one was very, very soft. I think it was he got a free for holding the ball against O'Connor, and then he kind of like shoved him in the back very softly and was given a high free to O'Connor. Very strange. But overall, 15 touches
Take
against
that any day of
Heaney,
the week.
who's kicking 5 and 20 most other weeks.
Yeah.
Well, not most other, but some other weeks.
5 and 20.
Well,
every
he
week.
is. He's a gun,
pretty
mate.
good.
And
He's pretty good.
O'Connor shuts into 15.
Crazy.
Well done, the Irishman.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do well with the Irishmen for that cat side. So, but on the Sydney front, there's still plenty to look forward to for next season. And we did see the best of them early in this game. They kicked the first 3 goals. The Lizard was doing his stuff. Even if he got bumped off the ball, it still ended up in a goal to Braden Campbell. So that was a positive sign. But as soon as Geelong figured that out throughout the middle of the ground, they sort of shut them down from there. But someone I did want to highlight, in Brody Grundy's absence, was Eshe, Peter Adams.
Yes, Shay.
Eshe Bar.
He was a shining light. He had a game high 10 clearances, 17 disposals, and managed to hit the scoreboard
That's
as well with
crazy.
2 goals.
That's a good
The
effort.
suburb of Broadmeadows is buzzing right now.
So should they
What a
trade
performance.
Brody Grundy?
Yep, to Hawthorn.
We just need Billy Adam. Nah, that's Hawthorn, of course, he says that. Anyway, they get the job done, the Cats, and they're looking pretty good for the final, so
are.
get around them there. The last game, let's touch on this one. Sunday at Marvel Stadium, Western Bulldogs smashed the West Coast Eagles, 19 goals, 12 for the Bulldogs, 126. West Coast, 4 goals, 8-32. Goals galore in this one, as we expected. The Dogs, they just love dominating at Marvel. They're 10 of 12 there from this for this year, which is exactly what you need to do at home, which they'll absolutely love. And they have an average winning margin across the whole season of every game, this now, 64 points. 60, they're absolutely smashing everyone. When they get the win, Leo might say they're a bit downhill skiers, but 64 points, which is what you want to see. Norton and Darcy, we wanted to see how many they could combine for. I had a look. I thought they might combine for like 10 plus possibly. They only got 6, but they still got 126 points on the board. I was very impressed. First gamer, Marby Sports Academy player as well. Jordan Croft came in and showed he's ready to make an impact, especially his marking. And he's 201 centimetres as well. Where do the Dogs pull these tall forwards from, lads?
They just have really good dads.
Yeah,
Father-sons.
another dad,
Yeah.
another really good father-son. So they got lots of tall depth. So they had Norton, Darcy, and Croft all combining, I think, for 8 goals in the end or so. So that's a really good effort. Do they need Crofty for finals? Can they have the 3-headed monster down there?
I don't think so. Like
Okay.
It was good to bring him in for these sort of games, give him the experience
the
for
Eagles.
future seasons against the Eagles. So he still had a really good day out, but that's just even more promising signs. It's good signs to have when you You
Just
got
say someone gets
one
injured
forward
or-
playing
Yep.
good and another one playing amazing, but you just can't keep out of the side.
No,
so.
good call. Good call. Sam Davidson, career best 3 goals. The Doc, I think they call him Leo down there.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I thought that's what you called him.
Oh,
anyway.
maybe
Leo's girlfriend will know. Got a bit of a crush on that.
Yes, so do I.
Right out of-
He's got good hair. There we go. Great endurance as well. The Bont, he's just building nicely. 31 disposals, 12 score involvements, 10 clearances. It was a tough day for the Eagles, but I thought Tom McCarthy and Marriage, pure ball magnets, so I don't mind watching them. So that's at least a good sign. They combined for 51 disposals. Just need a few more clearances from them. Obviously, the Dogs, very good clearance side, but with those 51 disposals, there wasn't too many clearances. I think it was only 3 clearances or so. So I want to lift that for next season, but at least they'll be really strong next season, those 2 guys around the midfield. And lads, I just want to finish on this one. Are the Dogs a genuine threat in the finals? Obviously, they've only beaten GWS as a top 9 team. Are they a threat?
I think so.
You think so?
I think, look, I don't think they deserve to make it. I said it last week when you can't beat up the crap sides and beat one top 8 side all year and expect finals.
Okay.
So look, if they beat Freo, then it's 2 side, but still I think Freo deserve it more. But even if Dogs make it, with their star players, with Sam Darcy and Aaron Norton in great form, Bonson, he's the best player in the comp, they can absolutely be a threat, and I would not want to play them.
Okay.
100%. Trelaw played well in the rest as well. Might even come back in. So I just think
that's scary.
they could miss out on finals, but have the best percentage of any side in the competition.
Oh, I'm
which
going to
is
look
crazy.
into that midweek, actually, if that's happened before.
I reckon it would be the best.
That would
of
be
all time.
absolutely nuts. Anyway, I think the Dogs might make finals. They're at Marvel next week against the Dockers, so we'll have to see there. That is the round 23 results done and dusted. Let's get into the ladder check. We've obviously got the Crom and the Cats are pretty much confirmed top 2, do we say, lads?
Yeah, beat.
They should win
They got
next week.
North and Richmond respectively. Both
Yeah,
should win.
they should both win those ones. The Pies, they just edge out the Hawks on percentage for top 4. I was with Leo last night and he's done a live ladder.
A live ladder, and then Dacos kicked the goal, and my dreams were crushed.
Yes, the Hawks and GWS pretty much locked in for finals. Do we think they can make the top 4? There's a sneaky chance.
What you got to rely on?
Pies and
Collingwood
Demons.
losing to Melbourne,
Demons could.
and Gold Coast losing one of the last 2. And then Hawthorn have to beat Brisbane. So a lot has to go.
A lot has to
GWS beat St Kilda. So a lot has to go right.
And then, as I just talked about before, you got the Freo versus Dogs next week at Marvel, which is a huge game. Everyone should be tuning in for that one. And then, provided the Suns don't lose to Port and the Bombers, they're pretty much in finals, I'd say. But
Yep.
it would be a classic Gold Coast Suns move to not make finals.
They
from here.
couldn't, could they?
They couldn't.
They could.
They could, I reckon. Tipping results.
can.
Leo, you want to go through the tipping results?
I got 5.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be an expert.
Who said I'm an expert? I'm a guy.
You're just a guy.
We carried the tips in our back, didn't we, Lee? And we
Yes.
both got 7.
Oh, is that cooler? Because I got 9, 8, 7 this week.
It's not cooler when you brag about it.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just good at tipping. That's all right. Lock results. Oh, crap. Do we have to get this one?
Are you good at
What was that
lock
one?
results, mate?
What was that one? What
I
happened?
don't want to talk about it. I can't.
Do you want
cry
to lead
like
us
Leo.
through the lock results?
All right, Leo. He's gone Dons versus Saints under 185 points.
Yep.
That's a big tick there. Well done. Marcus Sharman anytime. I think he had a couple of goals.
Kicked a couple of goals.
He was
Tick.
really good. And that's it. I think. For the
Thriller
locks.
2 plus for stats guy, and he got 1 goal.
How did he only get 1 goal on Braden
The
Maynard?
monsoon hit Adelaide.
Yeah, but he still could have. He wasn't on in the first half.
Let us know in the comments what the forfeit should be for the person who gets the least
it's-
amount of locks.
Leo
You got
And it's gonna
3 in a
be
row.
leading
I've got
Leo.
4. I reckon you got 3 wrong.
I reckon you've got more than 4 wrong.
We'll have to. Well, I'm not looking into that.
I'm safe. One.
Hell, every week I'm going to look into this, I'll look into that, and he doesn't do it.
I'll be a man of my word. I will look into that. Let's swiftly go into the big call results. Whoa, come on,
There's a lot of X's in the run sheet here.
Leo, what was your big call?
George Hardy's 5.
Did Port kick 5?
1 goal 2.
Oh, no.
I should have said Harry McKay for 5.
I know. Marcus.
I had the Dogs to score 160 plus. Leo
Oh, you should have said 140, mate.
gave a little hissy fit about that, but they
Should've
got
said
nowhere
one-
near it in the
You
end.
should have got 125. What did they get in the end?
I said the
about
Blues
120,
by
I think.
30 plus to win. No,
Blues.
unfortunately, I said Port to 30. Oh, why did I believe in
can't even
Port?
speak.
I can't speak. Why did I believe in Port? I can't believe I'm not doing that anymore. All right, the last 2 segments here. Let's get into it. Best on ground of the week. Leo, this is the toughest week we've had all year, I'm going to
It's
say.
the toughest week, and I've actually thought about this long and hard.
Okay.
And I'm going to change it up a little bit. to what I have there.
Oh.
1 vote.
Okay.
H. Sheezel gets the 1 vote.
Look at my shirt.
He only did it against
He got the
Richmond.
record amount of disposals.
He did it against Richmond, though.
No way, he had 14 more disposals. No, this is a disgrace. I'm walking out. This is a joke. I'm out.
He's left.
are you doing?
He's left the show.
We've done it.
No,
segment without me. You
I'm
can
actually
say-
going Zed Bailey for 1 vote. The stats guy's had a tantrum for no reason.
He was joking, mate. It's
I
a joke.
was joking.
Get him in.
He's come
joking,
back.
don't worry, guys.
God, that was easy to get under your
Let's
skin.
go. Oh, that was bad, Leo. Come on, man.
All right, Zed
Anyway.
Bailey, 1 vote, 28 disposals, 2 goals, 10 score involvements. He was elite against Freo in a big game. His goal overhead too was awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
By the way, 2 votes. M. Keane
Wow.
for Adelaide. 23 disposals, 14 intercepts, and 13 rebound 50s. 71 inside 50s for Collingwood, and he's there just going, nah, mate, you're not kicking a goal today.
Yeah, like that.
Awesome. And 3 votes, H. Sheezel.
Oh, thank God.
Just so you don't have a little bit of a tanty again. It was good content, but it was good content.
Thank you.
But no, he's got to get the 3. He had 54 and kick 2. He
was
just
up
have
it.
to get the 3 votes. And Gunston and McKay miss out with 7
Gunston's
goals.
almost 34 and he kicked 7, same as
It was
McKay.
on Stephen, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go.
And McKay was
And Tom
against
McDonald.
Lockie Jones.
Yeah, a bad Port defense.
Yeah, fair enough.
They're stiff though. They're stiff.
Oh, you almost had me there, but that was a great segment. Thank you, sir.
It's getting the best segment of the show.
Yeah, everyone click off now. Don't click off. Full
I
credit.
like to say that.
Best team of the round, Marcus.
Here we go.
Oh,
We always
One
hate
vote.
this.
There's a lot of good winners this week, and as much as I finally wanted to give my boys, the Bombers, a vote for someone
Yep.
playing well, it's not going to happen.
Aw.
But I am going to go 1 vote for the Geelong Cats.
Geelong
beating
Cats.
Sydney. We thought it was a danger game for Geelong.
I like that.
And they just brushed Sydney aside with ease. 2 votes. I'm going to go with the
He's thinking about it.
I know he's giving the 3 too.
GWS Giants.
Oh, no, I respect that. I respect
GWS
that.
Giants, 2 votes. Similarly, we thought they'd lose. Gold Coast have an impeccable record at home, and they got the job done. It was great, even with the amount of outs that they do have. But the 3 votes for me will go to the Brizzy Lions, who
alright,
bounced
fair
back
enough.
after a win. They needed it, and they've basically all but secured, if they beat Hawthorn, a top 4 chance with the hardest fixture to end the home and away season out of any side in the competition.
Wow.
They're just getting it done. The
He's-
reigning premiers.
I actually agree with
I would
you
give
for
a
once.
North a vote.
North. Oh,
Nah, screw 'em.
yeah, cheeky North.
Why not?
Why not? Why
Why
not?
not?
Get more North on this show. No, we've only got 1 more week left. Just
Just end the season.
give us something. Anyway, I'm calling it for the AFL Today Show before I get any more angry at Leo. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe to AFL Today on YouTube and follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more footy content all season long. Subscribe, star, and like all of our shows on your podcast apps. That's Cricket Today, AFLW Today, Hold All Tickets, True Bloods, Honest Beers, Footy Form Guide, and our new RaceNet show out the gates. Thank you very much to Gerald behind the camera. Thank you, Leo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus.
Looking a bit red there from Angus, that's guy.
Yeah, I am, but North won, so it's all good. I'll be all good. We'll see you for the midweek show. We'll catch you then on AFL Today.